All right, the 2010 NBA Finals is finally here. We get the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers. This is one of the best rivalries in the history of the NBA, probably the best rivalry. If you haven't seen it, go back and check out some of the classic games from the 80s. Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird. These were the games, that pretty much put the NBA on the map. So those are just classic games. But, fast forward a couple decades later, and we had the Celtics and the Lakers meet in the finals in 2008. Kobe Bryant, the previous summer he wanted to be traded. We really didn't know where the Lakers stood, but they got Pau Gasol. Odom was playing well, and they got back to the NBA Finals, and they met the Boston Celtics. The Celtics were pretty dominant. They assembled pretty much an all-star cast of NBA veterans: Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and then you have a young point guard in Rajon Rondo, and just made for a great matchup. The Celtics pretty much, were the tougher team. They did defeat the Lakers in 6 games. It was a series that depressed the shit out of Kobe Bryant. It's pretty well documented that Kobe Bryant is a big Los Angeles Lakers lifetime fan. For his whole life he was a fan of Magic Johnson and the Lakers. So, with him growing up, as a kid watching that rivalry, I'm sure it pretty much ate him alive, to lose his first NBA Finals, the first time he got back to the Finals, to lose to the Boston Celtics. It had to be a tough pill to swallow. So, this is about Kobe's revenge. Kobe, being the competitor that he is, it's hard to imagine, him, you know, going down without a fight. I don't know what he can do, but I seriously believe we're going to see a performance of a lifetime from Kobe Bryant, um, like we've never seen before. And this matchup is very interesting. I think both teams are extremely evenly matched. Both teams have a shitload of talent. They're just so stacked. But I would definitely say it evens itself out. I would say the coaching advantage probably goes to the Lakers. Obviously, you got Phil Jackson. Probably the best coach in NBA history. However, I would say the Boston Celtics have the advantage on the bench. The one thing that people are talking about, the whole theme of the 2010 NBA playoffs is how the hell can you stop Rondo? What they can't stop Rondo. Miami couldn't do it. Cleveland couldn't do it. Orlando couldn't do it. No one's been able to do it. This kid has made a name for himself. He's pretty much, obviously I think he's the best point guard in the league for sure now. Um, but I don't think it's one man cannot guard Rondo. Kobe's going to step up to the challenge just like he stepped up to the Westbrook challenge in Oklahoma City. But um, I think basketball is a team game, and Phil Jackson and his coaching staff, they do a great job of Phil Jackson's coaching staff. Their history has proved, they do a great job of scouting in advance. They're ready for the Celtics. They know what they have at hand, and Kobe is taking this very seriously. You look at his demeanor talking to the press. He knows he's got his work cut out for him. He knows he's going to have a tough time, guarding Rondo. But like I said though, this is a team effort. People are talking about a lot of matchups, like how's Paul Pierce going to score on Ron Artest, and how's Kobe going to stop Rondo, or who the hell is going to guard Ray Allen? It's interesting. There's a lot of interesting matchups. Fisher is going to have. A lot of people are saying who is Fisher going to guard, because Fisher really can't stay with anyone. Obviously, he can't guard Rondo, but um, the matchup problems, I wouldn't really worry about them. Like I said, I think basketball is more of a team game than anything. It's not individual. So I think the press is definitely overhyping some of these matchups. So that's just what I think of that. But the one thing that the Lakers have going for them that they didn't have in 2008, Gasol's been under the system for a couple years now. He was only in that system for about maybe 3 or 4 months prior to the playoffs, or prior to the finals. So that was not a lot of time. Uh, he's a lot stronger now. He's just a better player, and obviously they got Andrew Bynum. I'm not extremely excited about Andrew Bynum being the missing piece to the Lakers puzzle. I really don't think that's the truth. Because Bynum is not hungry. Let's face it. He's going through some injury problems. His focus is staying healthy. His focus really isn't winning the championship. So I think it's Kobe Bryant's responsibility to motivate him and try to get the best out of him, because they do need him in there. The Celtics are a huge team. They're a very physical team, and Kobe has to bring the beast out of Andrew Bynum. However, I think that the Lakers, you need Lamar Odom to play good. Lamar Odom is always the X factor. When he plays good, it's just another element that the Lakers have that really puts them over the top. So um, Odom needs to play a lot better than he did in the 2008 NBA Finals. He was kind of disappointing in that series. And Ron Artest, he's red hot right now. He's been playing great, and I think Artest is going to have his work cut out for him trying to guard Paul Pierce. Pierce is extremely tough to guard because he's got a lot of tricks. He's very, very tricky. He knows how to get to the foul line. He knows how to pump, make some guy get into the air, get to the free throw line, get some lucky shots. So it's going to be a chess game for Ron Artest. It's good. That's going to be a tough matchup there. But yeah, like I said, I think the Celtics are, you could argue that they're probably just as good as they were in 2008. I would say the big three, Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce, aren't as sharp as they were. They're a little bit older now, especially Garnett. Defensively, this team is not on the same level as they were back then. Especially at home. At home they're not as good. They only lost one game when they won the championship in 2008. One game in the playoffs at home. Only one game. So I think that says a lot about them. But at home, they're not the same team. They're definitely beatable at home. Um, like I said, but defensively, I think that the biggest thing that they're missing is the help defense that they used to have back then. It was so tough. That's what made them so tough to play against, in my opinion. So they're just not that team anymore. So I definitely think the Lakers uh, will have a much easier time scoring on their defense. Um, But yeah, like I said before, I think the bench, the Celtics bench is what you have to worry about. Big Baby Davis has had it too easy this playoffs. He's been very, very good. Nate Robinson coming off the bench too is going to provide a lot of energy. So constantly they're going to have their hands full with Nate and Rondo. And the other thing is, what I remember about the 2008 NBA Finals, Game 6 actually, it was Rondo. He actually had 10 steals when the Celtics closed out the Lakers in that game. So the Lakers got to do a great job protecting the basketball because Rondo is a beast at both ends. So, but like I said, this should be an excellent, excellent series. I seriously doubt Kobe's going to go down without a fight. Um, I seriously believe he's going to snap. We're going to see one of the best playoff performances of a lifetime here with in regards to Kobe Bryant, in my opinion. Um, and this 2-3-2 format, this 2-3-2 NBA Finals format is kind of tricky. I really can't tell you who has the advantage. There's a team that has home court advantage. You usually have the advantage or not. It totally depends. It depends how great of a home team some of these teams are. But in this situation, I say it's crucial for the Lakers to win both games at home in Los Angeles because even though the Celtics aren't the same team that they were at home, there's still you never really know because Boston is such a hostile environment. I say just as an insurance policy, you definitely got to win the first two in LA. So, and if they don't win the first two in LA, I think they're fucked. I really think they're screwed. I think those two games are must win for the Lakers. They're must win for both teams. But when it comes down to it, I say the Lakers will probably win the first two games at home. Then I say game 3 and game 4. I say Boston will take those two games, and then I think the Lakers will make whatever adjustments they need to make, win game 5 in Boston, and then come home in LA and win game 6. So that's pretty much how I think it's going to go. But yeah, Kobe Bryant, man, this is about Kobe Bryant's revenge, in my opinion. And considering that both of these teams are evenly matched, I really believe, as far as talent goes, position for position, I would say this is as evenly matched of an NBA Finals that I've seen in a long time. So it's definitely who wants it more. I'm looking at mentalities of both teams. Boston, I would say Rondo wants it pretty bad. He's trying to make a name for himself. He wants to be known as the best point guard in the league. I think the bench is pretty hungry, but at the same time, I feel like Garnett and Pierce and Ray Allen, I feel like they're just along for the ride. I'm not really seeing those guys as like their demeanor doesn't seem any different than it usually is. But Kobe, obviously on the Lakers, obviously this is going to be more than him than anything. And I seriously think that last year's championship over the Orlando Magic, the Lakers win over the Magic, isn't going to mean as much if they don't get it done right now. Because people would argue, that Boston probably would have made it to the finals if had Garnett been healthy. Garnett's not as healthy now, so But still, I seriously think, this is going to be more. This is going to be the defining moment of Kobe Bryant's career. I seriously think, you could put him in greatest of all time discussion seriously now. If he could take this series, him and the Lakers could take this series. I think Artest wants it. I think Artest wants to prove, that he's not a fluke. Artest is red hot right now, so we'll see what happens there. And I think Gasol wants to prove that he's not soft. So I would say, as far as the hunger advantage go, who has more to prove? Both teams have a lot to prove, but I would say the Lakers do have that advantage. And we've seen teams in the past, Miami, Detroit, so many teams that have just won one championship, and I don't think either one of these teams wants to be classified as a team that was just a flash in the pan. So I definitely think a lot is at stake. I think this is like an undisputed championship. So I can't wait. It should be an excellent, excellent NBA Finals. So I hope everyone enjoys it.